Handheld PC gaming is officially a reality. By mid-2022, some of you lucky so-and-sos will be holding the Valve Steam Deck in your mitts, playing The Witcher 3 or Control or Hades, and yeah, a little bit lighter in the whole bank department. But come on, you'd be holding a mini, portable PC in your hands. Impressions have finally made their way out into the wild, so we know what it's like to get hands-on with the Steam Deck. There are interviews aplenty with the Steam Deck designers and Gabe Newell himself, as well as extra details that have been clarified post-announcement. I've chopped all of that new information up into a delicious Steam Deck soup that I'm about to feed you, and before this metaphor gets further away from me, here's everything we know about the Steam Deck. The hard facts about the Steam Deck's hardware abound. In its guts is the custom-built AMD 4-core Zen 2 APU, with CPU speeds of 3.4 GHz, making it perfect for running AAA games without breaking a sweat. In fact, when the Steam Deck was tested by Valve, most of the games either met or exceeded 30 FPS, with Control running at 60 FPS. So it's got some hefty guts. Software-wise, the Steam Deck has a Linux operating system, meaning that it could theoretically be overclocked later down the line if you wanted it to run even more swiftly. Tucker Spofford and Greg Coomer, product designers working on the Steam Deck, have vaguely mentioned that they're going to talk about whether you can replace and upgrade components soon. The most they've said is that, quote, "There's actually a fairly nuanced set of answers around all those things, because a bunch of details that have to do with what happens when you take it apart, what all the trade-offs are in the components that we've selected. But apart from that little tidbit, we don't have any concrete information about tinkering with your Stream Deck yet." I mean, you can tweak it in a sense, as if you're not satisfied with the storage options currently available, more on them and the prices later, you can use the micro SD card slot to expand your storage and play even more games. Its battery life isn't anything to sniff at, though to get the most out of it, you will want to be streaming your games instead of playing them locally on the Steam Deck. Lasting about 8 hours playing something like Death Stranding if you're streaming, that changes to 2 to 8 hours of battery life when you're using the Steam Deck locally. Depending on the game and what performance you have it running at, this time can vary. So for example, when Valve tested it, Portal 2 ran for 5 to 6 hours at 30 FPS. Valve knows that boy do people love settling in for a long gaming session like that, so it has been built to remain comfortable for hours at a time too, with the thumbsticks, trackpads and controls designed to fit perfectly in your hands. Good news on that front too, people who have been hands-on with the Steam Deck do tend to go on about how comfy the handheld is. Even with it being both heavier than the Nintendo Switch and larger and with more controls, the Steam Deck doesn't come across as unwieldy, which is quite the feat. Now, a bit of hardware that needs some clarification is the dock. Unlike the Nintendo Switch dock, the Stream Deck dock, try saying that 3 times fast, is sold separately and doesn't affect the way the Steam Deck performs. Working just as well in docked or handheld mode, the Steam Deck was designed with both in mind. Coomer went into more detail about this, saying that they didn't want to target higher resolutions in docked mode because, simply put, they feel like most people will play it held in their hands. Makes sense, as if you're playing it docked unless you're away from home or something, you're probably better off playing at your PC. But hey, if you do want the dock, here's what you need to know. It's relatively small, supports your Steam Deck so you can see its screen instead of obscuring it like the Nintendo Switch dock, and connects to your TV or monitor, wired networks, Bluetooth, USB peripherals like a keyboard and mouse, and obviously, power. Its USB-C port also means that you can connect headphones and whatnot to it. It's quite the formidable little machine, but, again, is sold separately from the Steam Deck for I'm not sure how much money quite yet, but hopefully we'll get a price soon. I might not know how much the Steam Deck dock is, but I do know how much the Steam Deck is. The 64GB with the carry case will run you £349 or $399. bulk it up to 256GB with an SSD, a carry case, faster storage, and an exclusive Steam Community Profile bundle, and you're looking at £459 or $529. Finally, the ultimate Steam Deck beast clocks in at 512GB with an SSD, exclusive carry case, faster storage, exclusive Steam Community Profile bundle, premium anti-glare etched glass, and exclusive virtual keyboard theme, all for £569 or $649. You're right to have questions about what the Steam Community Profile bundle that comes with the 256GB and 512GB model actually entails, and Valve has yet to drop more information about it too. I think it's safe to say that these will be something along the lines of exclusive cosmetics for avatars, backgrounds, and themes. Keep an eye on Valve for more information about it though, as that is pure guesswork. All of this talk about price and new consoles brings up bad memories of the PS5 launch, thanks to one scourge of gaming society: scalpers. I would say have no fear, except when scalpers are concerned, you should always have a little bit of fear, as there's always the possibility they'll find a way around Valve's anti-scalping efforts, as yes, there are strategies in place to deter those D-bags. First, reservations and orders are restricted to one per account, and that account has to have made a Steam purchase prior to June 2021, so scalpers can't set up a custom Steam account as a knee-jerk reaction to the Steam Deck announcement. True, this only applies to the first 48 hours of pre-ordering, but hopefully that's enough time for genuine Steam Deck devotees to get in there before bot accounts do. Secondly, there's also a $5/£4 fee to reserve a Steam Deck as an extra deterrent. Surely enough, listings did crop up on eBay, but they were swiftly taken down as they violated eBay's policy, so thank God for that. I suspect there will still be scalping when the Steam Deck comes out, but with these measures in place, just keep those fingers crossed that it's less than it would otherwise be. So, what do people think of the Steam Deck? Ergonomics are something almost all of the impressions I read praised. The Verge's Sean Hollister said that his fingers, quote, melted into its grips and grooves and loved the feel of the controls, while PC Gamer's Wes Fenlon prefers the thumbsticks to the switches and likes how the Steam Deck nestles into his thumbs. Journalists liked the screen resolution, connecting to a computer was smooth, and they could happily play co-op with someone who was using a PC. But there were a couple of grumbles from the folks at Giant Bomb about the load times of the most affordable model, which doesn't run on an SSD like the other models, but rather an embedded multimedia card. Overall, those that got their paws on the Steam Deck really liked it, and succeeded in making me a little bit jealous. Good job, folks. Here we go, the part you all suspected was coming. The inevitable comparisons to the Nintendo Switch. Valve knows the pricing of the Switch was going to be a factor in how much the Steam Deck was sold for, and didn't want that gap to be too large. Hence why the cheapest version of the Steam Deck is only about $50 more than the Nintendo Switch OLED version. Mind you, Kuma has consistently mentioned that the Steam Deck isn't targeting the Nintendo Switch's audience, instead focusing on those who are into, quote, high-end PC gaming and Steam games, something also highlighted by Pierre-Loup Greffet, a programmer on the Steam Deck. For Gabe Newell, whose role I hardly think I need to clarify, but, just in case, he's one of the co-founders of Valve, those who are drawn to the Steam Deck will be used to, quote, expensive game controllers and hefty PCs. So when they pick up the Steam Deck, it feels similar to those kinds of devices instead of the Switch's more slimline, lighter design. And they'll hopefully feel that it's more them instead of the Switch. Not that you can't have both, of course, if you want to somehow dual-wield handhelds. That would be a very fearsome, but very expensive sight. Yup, the Steam Deck is barely out yet, but Valve is already thinking about the future. The Steam Deck is just the beginning of their plan to corner the handheld PC market, similarly to how the Nintendo Switch has become the go-to for handheld console titles thus far. Kuma has already been quoted as saying that Valve want to continue making devices in the Steam Deck product line. So, in about 5 years' time, we could be seeing an updated model of the Steam Deck the same way we got a half step towards the next generation with the PlayStation Pro, the Xbox Series S, and the Nintendo Switch OLED model. Newell has said similar things too and sees long-term benefits in the Steam Deck and its consequent products, saying that he wants the Steam Deck to establish, quote, a product category that ourselves and other PC manufacturers are going to be able to participate in. I'd guess that Valve hopes that no other PC manufacturers try their own handheld console, as that might impact Steam Deck sales, but Valve is positioning itself to be the go-to handheld for PC gamers. And that's everything we know about the Steam Deck. If you enjoyed the video, thanks very much, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Eurogamer for more videos about video games, as we have a new one out every single day. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go, so remember to stay hydrated, folks, and I'll see you next time.